does it actually feel like to be autistic? As an autism mom, it's something that I always am trying to be aware of for my son and how he's feeling. And so I decided to do an interview with my brother Sam,
Hi.
who was late diagnosed as an adult at age
30
with level 1 autism. A lot of my viewers on this channel are parents of autistic children. What I wanted to do was ask you about, because some of them have children who are non-speaking, non-verbal, can't communicate with words how it feels. And so I wanted to talk to you about some of those things that you experienced growing up, you experience now, that maybe could put some words and give parents some insight into what's going on with their children.
I'll do my best. I can only speak for me, but hopefully it gives at least something to work with.
All right, sounds good. So my first question is just to get a little background on you. So what led you to seek an official diagnosis? And what were some kind of basic things you experienced growing up that maybe there was some suspicion that something's different? And we can go more into specific sensory sensitivities, social cues, those things, but yeah.
Okay, so in my case, I'm a decent employee at my work and I generally get along with people. I was noticing that sometimes I'd have an awkwardness or I'd say something that made perfect sense to me or was like really wide.
Verboten.
Forbidden.
Oh, forbidden. Okay. Sorry.
Apparently people were annoyed or whatever, calling me out
So
on
it was
this.
unwritten
Stuff.
that people were reacting and you didn't understand why.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I literally in my case, I wanted it as added, God forbid, as an Americans with Disabilities Act protection.
Yeah.
And it is very legit.
Okay.
Yes, manager, I am clinically awkward.
Like, I have it. It's written down. It's right here. You have to believe me, man. You gotta believe me. Okay. So as we talk, you can think about like childhood, now, whatever. Because obviously in childhood, we didn't know there was a diagnosable thing. I think it's fair to say that we noticed there was some, what one would call social awkwardness.
Sure.
But especially as you got older, I thought like, oh, maybe, I learned more about autism when I started in my teaching career. And I was like, oh, I think my brother might have this. And then becoming a parent of an autistic child and learning more and more, I'm like, okay, he definitely probably does. Like, I'd be very surprised if he didn't pass the test or whatever you call it. And then you did. You got actually diagnosed, and there we are. So what were some things like sensory sensitivities you were growing up? Or now? Like, what is it? And I think that would be the main thing for the viewers who are parents for the most part on this channel. What should parents know?
I presume most of us have touched something that was a little too hot to touch, right? And, the stove was on. Or you're pulling a weed and, it had thorns to withdraw your hand. That sensation, not quite the pain, but just that almost panic or that like just instinct is very for certain materials.
Okay.
So one for me is velvet. And that can even apply to sleeping stuff too, where it can be fine to be wearing pajama stuff, but actually sleeping in it is uncomfortable, at least in my case. Cotton. Oh my gosh.
Okay. What got like cotton balls?
Yeah, cotton balls. So feeling a cotton ball, that feeling is very, when you're watching a show and like nails on the chalkboard. Imagine that in the sensory version. Okay. That's kind of what it feels like.
Yeah. What if it's like wet? Like what?
Wet is fine for me.
But just like
some other people that's worse. But who I've talked to. But for me, wet actually makes provides something to work with.
Do you have any foods where the texture is?
No.
I know some people like gummies and stuff they don't like. My son loves gummies, so it helps with being able to like use it as a reward or whatever. He likes the gummies. And then I know for you, sounds are
Oh my
particularly difficult. And so why don't you explain what that feels like? And then I think you had a story where you went into like a level of a meltdown as a teenager that you wanted to share. So, because meltdowns are a huge thing that parents are trying to prevent, trying to support their children through, all of those things. So, explain like what it feels like when there's a loud sound and maybe what causes a meltdown and what might help you like if you were experiencing that.
Sure. So, can you put your hands to your temples?
Both hands.
Now, I want you to imagine somebody else taking their hands and pushing as hard as they possibly can on your temples.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what a loud, high-pitched sound feels like to me.
Like someone just kind of
Like an instant headache, panic, alarm. It is very overwhelming. In terms of an example in my life, you ever hear that sound where somebody puts the two fingers in their mouth and does that really high-pitched whistle?
Yes.
That sound in particular is one of my least favorites. And it gets that panic where I just want to get away. And if it's combined with I'm in a crowd where I can't get away, then my instinct is literally to just push onto my ears to block it as much as I can.
And I know for some kids, like having headphones and all of that is just like a lifesaver because they have a way of escaping. My son's interesting because he is more on the sensory seeking side of the spectrum. So he loves loud noises and a lot of visuals and a lot of like, he almost wants more stimulation. And so we were doing like 4th of July fireworks. You like 4th of July fireworks?
I do.
Just
I
fine.
do.
So that sound obviously, well, I think the really high pitched ones you don't.
Yeah, pitched ones can get a little annoying and I can handle them. If I'm expecting a sound, I can plan for it, adjust.
If it's
sudden,
okay.
Or like driving in car horns.
Well, that stresses me out too because I'm like, what did I do?
What
did I do wrong? Why are
who,
you
where,
honking
when,
me?
why? Is that to me? Is that to somebody else?
But yeah, my son with 4th of July, he was all about the fireworks.
Aww,
He was so
that's
happy.
really sweet.
Yeah, Sam is my son's godfather too.
Hi.
So we obviously didn't know when we don't even have your official autism diagnosis when my son was born,
and he certainly did.
So we, kind of like worked out perfectly without us even knowing.
I've heard the term God wink.
Yeah. Yes, I love
that
it.
term.
Okay. So what happened? You were at church as a teenager.
Sure.
Someone did the whistle. And what happened?
So after the fact, I wanted to be vindicated. So I actually went up to the person who made the sound and I made it very clear how much that sound bothered me. And the person defended themselves, and that's fine. And
obviously that individual didn't have an understanding.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey, that caused my whole nervous system to shut down. And it was very embarrassing because I reacted in front of my peers. And I mean, if I'm explaining it correctly.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was just like a really bad toothache in your head, or a headache, I suppose.
Yeah, I had a bad toothache before. Okay, so what about things like eye contact? Or
Sure.
You obviously can make eye contact.
Yes, I can make eye
me.
contact.
Ooh,
Hello,
eye
camera.
contact, yeah.
Hello. But for me, as a 31-year-old professional, whatever, I almost see it as this mechanical thing of like, okay, I'm trying to almost make it into a rhythm of look, thought, look, thought.
So you're like a formulaic, because like, oh, people look away when they're talking, so I need to look away this often and then look back and
yeah. I am trying to mimic what the other person's energy as best I can. But if you just tell me, hey, talk to me and maintain eye contact, I'm going to be running calculations of like, wait, am I supposed to stare the whole time? Or am I allowed to blink? Or do I look away when I'm thinking about that cool thing and then back? What do liars look upright or up based on whether they're handed or left-handed?
Yeah. That leads me to just in general, like social cues. So you talked when you were talking about like getting the diagnosis that there were some social cues, things you were missing and you weren't sure why. Do you find that you're kind of constantly calculating? Are you trying to figure out like what other people are trying to say? Do the subtleties not come across?
So I am a very gregarious person.
And gregarious to the viewers that
Your vocabulary word for today, gregarious, outgoing, likes to talk and talk and talk.
Okay. And tell stories. I've noticed too, you've gotten better at it, but you used to do the thing where you kind of start in the middle of a story. And that is common with autism.
Yes.
And we'll be like, wait, hold on. What actually happened? What happened at the beginning? Okay. So there's that. What
So-
about like you're going up to talk to someone
And so I'll give a work thing that's hopefully more common, especially in this work from home, work in the office, whatever. I have no idea when the proper time to end a phone call is.
Okay.
It's like, bye, hope you have a good day. All right, thanks. Yeah.
Us neurotypicals are the worst, aren't we? And they're like, can I hang up or am I going to get in trouble? I don't know. I say bye like 5 times.
Yes, I have had situations where I thought the conversation was over. We both said bye. And then right as I'm like, okay, bye, or whatever, and then I hear and then I hung up.
And you're like, oh no, I hung
And
up.
I'm just, dang it. So
I mean, listen, we've all done that at
Yeah.
some point, though. Also, that's a neurotypical thing too.
Cool. That's good to know.
Maybe more often it comes up with you, but
Then there can be certain topics that I'll be interested in.
yes, that's
If
very
I-
true. The special interest thing. I
Yes.
know you have. The
Yes, I
special
do have some
interest, for
special
sure.
interests.
Okay. Do you feel like you can tell if someone likes a joke that you told, or do you struggle to tell if they actually like it or
It's about a 65% hit rate.
not? Okay, meaning you can tell, or people actually think it's funny 65% of the time.
I can probably tell about 65% of the time. Because sometimes the laugh is, I said something actually funny. And sometimes the laugh is, wow, Sam, that was so awkward in the delivery. But I've just learned I like being funny, so I've learned to just go, okay, if it seemingly wasn't right, then I'll just go into self-deprecating humor. And that's a very safe thing for me. Perhaps a character defect, it's an easy way to get pity.
Oh, it can be. I mean, that can be a good little tool for anyone. You kind of can backpedal with the self-deprecating humor.
Like, hey, right. Wow, only a fool would say that, right?
Oh,
Idiot says,
see, that's a real laugh. That was a real laugh.
Yay!
High five. Good job. Okay.
I did a funny.
What do you think it means if someone does this?
It means that they're trying to be polite, but they want to go, but they don't know how to leave.
Good job. What does it mean if someone goes, oh, Sam?
That means I said something somewhat funny, but it's more funny because I said it, and it's also condescending, and they probably think they're better than me.
Maybe. I guess it depends on, some people might be saying it like, oh,
Well, we're in the South, so there's bless your heart, and there's oh, bless your heart.
Okay, something I wanted to ask as well is when neurotypical people in general, and especially parents who are really trying to work with their kids, are trying to work on better communication. One thing I've learned is about being really direct, honest, literal can help. Do you feel that that is the case for you too?
I was in a play recently, and it was awesome. And if any of my Cinderella buddies are watching, hi! I love being the trumpet guy. But the director had at one point said, like, Sam, this is your last chance. And my brain was going, oh, am I, like, if I screw this up, is he gonna knock me out of the scene or whatever? Like, is it that? And it was a little scary. And so after the scene, we went off, kind of worked on the stuff. And I talked to somebody who knew him better. And she was like, oh, no, that's not what that means. The director is just, that's him teasing, and he's trying to get something out of you that he wants. And then I got to talk with the director specifically. And he's like,
confirm the intention.
Like, look, yes, I get passionate, but all that meant is that I've seen what I want from you in some capacity, so let's bring that out again.
Mm-hmm.
Once I know the context, it can then, now I'm like, oh, this is your last chance. Okay, go back to what did I do in the past? Now, instead of I'm about to get kicked out, now it means what did I do in the past that was right and need to do again.
Okay, I like that. And it's something I'm working on with my son is like being really clear only like it's only a question if it's actually a question. Like you don't be like, "Do you want to like go do this?" when it's not really an option to clean up our plate or whatever. It's like, "Okay, it's time to clean up our plate."
Mm-hmm.
Take the plate, put it on the counter or whatever the thing is. I'm going to do a quick shout out for my visuals. I have 3 free visuals, my calming visuals routine. I'll put up a picture of it on the screen. And if you're interested in that, it's been really helpful for us at home. So, what would you want people to know in your day-to-day life? People might not necessarily know your diagnosis, but if people do know, like if they're like, oh, Sam has level 1 autism, like how can I better communicate with you? Or like for parents who are trying to figure out how to better interact with their children or relatives, what are just a couple of things that would be helpful for people to know, maybe both about the social things, about direct communication, about sensory sensitivities?
It's perfectly okay to say that was a joke. I know normally saying that was a joke kills the joke, but for me, it might not have been a joke. You saying, oh, Sam, I'm going to kill you. That's not a joke to me. My brain will literally go into panic.
Mm.
And also anger, like, whoa, that's how you really feel about me. Oh, okay. Why didn't you just tell me that annoyed you?
Okay, so
this isn't life.
So if someone can see that you're getting upset, for them to be really clear, like, oh, I was making a joke, I'm sorry, would help.
Yeah, and you don't even necessarily have to apologize. It can just be like, oh, that was a joke. I'm like, oh, okay, good, I didn't mess up. Yeah, something that if you have autism, what used to be called Asperger's, now type 1 autism, great, whatever. One of the telltale signs of that, if you have that and you have roughly an average or above average IQ.
I'm sure you do. He's very smart, viewers.
I'm smart enough for all normal purposes. But depression is very common. And so that means that, and part of that is just this kind of fish out of water scenario. So what are the social cues? So for instance, if you're telling a joke, oh my gosh, if you get a B or whatever, I'll take away all your toys or something, or whatever the thing. Probably not. I would take that literally.
Okay. So if a parent's doing like a larger threat or something, even if they mean it as a joke, like that's not really the best way of communicating.
Yes, it can. And look, I love humor, I love jokes, and I love hearing other people's jokes. That's great. It's just sometimes if it's in banter, the element of truth aspect in the banter, I will pick up on that substantially.
What could people have done when you were a kid to support you? What can people do to support their kids?
In terms of sensory stuff, asking or testing, like in the case, like, hey, are there any materials are there any clothes you don't like?
Or if someone's nonverbal, you might just
have to be a detective.
Figure out what. My son oftentimes it's like his sock is bothering him or whatever, and I have to just keep trying again to like put it back on a different way. And he ends up taking them off in the middle of church and like off. I'm like, yes, they are, buddy. Yes, you took your shoes off.
Yep. Something that used to bother teachers all the time with me is I would just wear my jacket like half on, half off.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why do they care?
I don't know. I would just like kind of be like, hey, it's Superman thing or whatever. Or I guess temperature might be a thing where fall and spring where you're just trying to get that right temperature, and it literally take my jacket on and off many times in a 10-minute period.
Yeah.
Or partially on, and even when I'm driving now, yes, I will adjust the temperature.
Because it's like
They're
very
that.
specific. Yeah.
Mhm.
So maybe for parents, they should just try to really be aware and try to help adjust,
Yeah,
you know.
and it's okay. And part of it is get awareness.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you have that awareness, then slow but encouraging introduction. Something I used to be very afraid of was heat things. So, like, the oven freaked me out, stoves freaked me out. I don't know why it freaked me out. Now I can handle it. And part of what helped me is my mom going like, okay, Sam, let's do this. I'll do it first. See,
So some
practicing.
of not like throwing you in the deep end without
Yeah.
support, but like, hey, we're gonna try. Maybe with the oven example, if your kid's really sensitive, maybe you put it on like a really lower heat or something. And like, okay, we're gonna practice, and then we're gonna like turn it up to like the more normal thing, and we're gonna put the oven mitts on and put all the protection, all the things.
Yeah. Now I cook for myself.
Good job. High five.
Yeah.
You're an independent fella.
I am. Yay. Although my wife is a better cook than me. Thank you, Sarah. I love you.
Okay. Well, I don't know. You all let me know if you have questions, because I think there's more like specific things we could talk more on for other episodes, videos, whatever one does on a YouTube channel. Well, Sam, thank you so much for all this information. This is already going to help me with my son. And I hope it helps you. Tell us if there's anything else that you would like to know. And if you're interested in maybe more questions, maybe we have an episode devoted like just to sensory things or just to social things. Or, I know, pressure.
Oh.
Just subscribe to the channel, share with anyone who would find this interesting, and I hope you have a wonderful week.